Second episode of Reacher Season 4 picks up immediately after the shocking cliffhanger of the previous episode. Reacher was ambushed by a group of men in suits and taken down with two powerful tranquilizer darts. Now, when he wakes up, he finds himself chained to a gurney inside a cage. His first reaction is almost comically predictable. He points out that it took two darts to knock him out. A quick look around tells Reacher that he isn't the only prisoner. Tamara, Green, and Jacob are being held in two neighboring cells. Within seconds, Reacher figures out that their captors are connected to the CIA. This means the investigation into Anna Merrick's supposed suicide has become even more complicated. The mysterious flash drive is now being pursued by multiple groups, including the strange government agents from the first episode, professional assassins, and now the CIA. Reacher is taken away for interrogation. As usual, his interrogators refuse to give him straight answers, so he gives them nicknames instead. This time, he calls the three men questioning him Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod. Their objective is simple. They want to know where the flash drive is. The problem is that Reacher genuinely doesn't have it. The agents threaten him and try to pressure him into cooperating by using Tamara and Jacob as leverage. They make it clear that if Reacher refuses to talk, his friends could be tortured. But threatening Reacher's friends turns out to be a terrible strategy. Instead of breaking, Reacher attacks. Despite being restrained and heavily outnumbered, he manages to overpower the men interrogating him. His size makes him look like an easy target until he starts moving, and soon the people who thought they had him under control are lying unconscious on the floor. Reacher then begins planning an escape. He finds a car jack outside and uses it to bend the bars of the cells. It takes considerable effort, but eventually he creates enough space for Tamara and Jacob to get out. Unfortunately, the escape doesn't go unnoticed. More CIA agents arrive, forcing the three of them into a frantic chase through the building. Just when it appears that they are about to be surrounded, a mysterious man in a vehicle comes to their rescue. The man's name is Russell Plum. Plum is a freelance journalist who has been investigating the building because he suspected that the CIA was secretly operating a black site there. His suspicions turn out to be correct. He has been watching the facility and apparently knows considerably more about the CIA's activities than an ordinary journalist should. Reacher is understandably suspicious of Plum, especially because the journalist has an almost conspiracy theorist quality about him. Still, Plum has just helped them escape a CIA facility, so Reacher accepts the assistance. With the group temporarily safe, everyone splits up to investigate different parts of the case. Reacher decides that the next person he needs to question is John Sampson, the powerful congressman whose name has been at the center of Lila Hoth's story. Meanwhile, Tamara and Jacob return to Anna's house hoping to find her missing car. They discover that the house has been thoroughly ransacked. Someone has clearly been searching the place, and the damage suggests that Anna's home was not simply abandoned after her death. Even more suspicious is the discovery of a half-eaten meal that is still warm. Someone has been staying there. Before Tamara and Jacob can fully investigate, they discover a large man hiding inside the house. He attacks Jacob and begins strangling him. Tamara manages to intervene and knocks the man unconscious, but the encounter confirms that someone has been using Anna's home as a hiding place. The missing car becomes another important mystery. Anna apparently drove it all the way to Philadelphia before getting onto the subway and killing herself. Tamara and Jacob also receive a phone call from one of Ben's football coaches. Since they still don't want anyone to know that Anna is dead, Tamara pretends to be her during the conversation. The coach tells them that Ben never showed up for practice. This finally makes the seriousness of Ben's disappearance impossible to ignore. Anna is dead, Ben has disappeared, her home has been searched, and people are willing to kill over the flash drive she was supposedly carrying. At the same time, Reacher gets closer to John Sampson. Sampson's wife, Elspeth, and his security man, Springfield, meet Reacher. They give him the address of the hotel where Sampson is staying and arrange for him to get 5 minutes with the politician. When Reacher arrives, however, Sampson isn't waiting for him. Instead, the same mysterious government agents from earlier are there. Reacher once again encounters the trio he previously nicknamed Snap, Crackle, and Pop. They warn him to stop investigating Anna's death and to stay away from Sampson. Reacher naturally ignores them. He contacts Tamara and Jacob and learns that Anna's car is still missing. The fact that she drove to Philadelphia before boarding the subway becomes increasingly suspicious. But Reacher has another problem to solve first. They need transportation. Since Plum has conveniently provided them with a vehicle, Reacher decides to take it. Their next lead is Ben. The investigation takes them to his fraternity house, where they find the expected chaos and very little useful information. Most of the people there claim they don't know where Ben is. Eventually, however, Reacher notices a young man named Colin trying to quietly leave. Reacher stops him. Colin knows something. The reason he doesn't want to talk in front of Tamara is embarrassing rather than criminal. Ben had recently gone out with a woman he met online, and Colin recognizes her because she is an OnlyFans model. Colin himself is one of her subscribers and is particularly interested in her feet-related content. He is understandably reluctant to admit this in front of everyone, but his information gives Reacher a new lead. With help from Detective Doherty, they identify the woman and track her down to her apartment. What they find there is horrifying. The woman is dead on her bed, and it is immediately obvious that she wasn't simply murdered. She was subjected to extensive torture using knives. The brutality reminds Reacher of the assassin who attacked him in the library. The method is similar enough that Reacher begins to suspect the same group may be responsible. This discovery also makes Ben's disappearance much more frightening. If Ben really was with this woman, then there is a possibility that he has either been kidnapped or killed as well. Jacob is devastated by the discovery. Ben isn't just another missing person to him. He is his nephew, someone Jacob helped raise, and the possibility that he may have suffered the same fate as the woman hits him hard. Reacher worries that Jacob's emotional connection could become a weakness, but Jacob refuses to walk away from the investigation. Reacher, meanwhile, wants proof that the murder was committed by the same people who attacked him. He tells Tamara about the knife-wielding assassin he killed in the library basement and directs her to the coal room, where he hid the body. He wants the weapon recovered, so it can be compared with the knife used to torture the woman. The team also ends up taking the victim's cat with them. It's an oddly light moment in the middle of an increasingly disturbing investigation, but the cat becomes another reminder that the victim had a life beyond the mystery surrounding her death. With no obvious leads left, Reacher decides to confront John Sampson directly. Sampson is appearing at a public event, giving Reacher the perfect opportunity to approach him in front of the media. Reacher deliberately forces the politician to deal with him publicly, making it difficult for Sampson's security team to simply remove him. Eventually, Reacher gets inside Sampson's private suite. This is where the investigation takes an important turn. Reacher questions Sampson about Anna Merrick and about Lila Hoth's claim that he fathered her while stationed in Indonesia. Sampson insists that he has never met Anna and had no idea who she was before her death. He also strongly denies being Lila's father. According to Sampson, his military service in Indonesia was part of a highly classified Delta Force operation. Whatever happened there, it wasn't something Anna, who worked in an Army records department, should have been able to access. Sampson is so confident in his denial that he agrees to provide DNA evidence. He spits into a glass so Reacher can have the sample tested. Reacher studies the situation carefully. The story Lila gave him is beginning to fall apart. There were already details that didn't make sense, and now Sampson's reaction convinces Reacher that the congressman is probably telling the truth. More importantly, Reacher realizes that the CIA would not normally kidnap and torture American citizens simply because someone had uncovered an embarrassing political scandal. A secret daughter and a potential presidential scandal aren't enough to explain this level of violence. Whatever Anna discovered, it is much bigger. Reacher leaves the encounter believing that John Sampson is not the real target. But then he notices someone else. Outside, Reacher sees Nolan Cahill, Sampson's chief of staff. Cahill immediately catches his attention because Reacher recognizes him as the fourth person who was present on the subway when Anna died. That detail is extremely important. There were only a handful of passengers in the subway car that night. Reacher had already noticed that one witness was missing when the police questioned him. Now he realizes that the missing witness wasn't simply an innocent bystander. It was Nolan Cahill. Cahill was there when Anna shot herself. He also disappeared before the police could question him. Suddenly, the investigation has a completely new direction. If Sampson is telling the truth, then perhaps the mystery isn't about a secret daughter at all. Perhaps Lila's story is only one layer of a much larger conspiracy involving Sampson's classified military history. And Cahill may know exactly what happened.